Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday. That makes us one day away from training. Don't lie to yourself. Training is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Join me every Friday. I've done it for over 20 years. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Colleen. Hi, Matt. Welcome, everybody. Team David Meltzer. Christina, thank you so much. We will post David at dmeltzer.com so you can watch all the replays on Spotify. They're featured there. On Entrepreneur on every platform. You can email me, David at dmeltzer.com, if you want my book for free, signed, shipped, paid for by me, shipping too. I'll sign it, send it to you for a holiday gift. And there is Team David Meltzer, pinning it right up there, David at dmeltzer.com. And you can join my text community. It's growing at a wild pace. 949 298-2905. I am wearing this shirt it's from hold on, where's it from? Oh, it's the Black Course at in New York, Bethpage. Very cool, but it's the colors of the Ohio State University, and I have a little rendezvous with Eddie George today, so I thought I'd honor him by wearing his colors and the ones I love. Anyway, let's take a few questions. I see none in there. Hopefully my team is on top of things today, putting questions in so I can answer them. Please, question icon isn't there. That's probably why I have no questions. That's super weird. Where could the question icon be? Anyway, Jakey, let me know if there's a question icon. If not, type them in there. Go on the website for your book. Email me for my book. I'll send it to you. You can buy it on Amazon, but if you want it for free, David at dmeltzer.com. Email me, and I'll send it to you. Does that sound fair? Awesome. All right, well, try to put the questions in there. If not, put them into these comments here. It's not there. Just go ahead, type the questions into your comments there. Which industry is a good one to look at? So the way that I find the industries, the careers, the jobs, the businesses that I want to work with is I use the stock market and see what's doing well. I see what's stable and what I think is going to do well. And I align my capabilities to those things. I look at the skills I have, want and need, the knowledge I have of not only the what, but the knowledge of the who, and also the desire I have to work in that industry, career, or job, or company. 2-minute drill launches Friday, January 8th at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. We will be on Amazon first week in January for on-demand, Amazon Prime Video. Check it out. It is an amazing show. 2-minute drill. Check it out. Bloomberg, 8:30 on Fridays, launching January 8th, first week in January, Amazon. If you want to try out for season 2, that'll be airing in June. We're already collecting names and numbers. Give us your request, dmeltzer.com/pitch, or just email me, David at dmeltzer.com. Let's take another question. What is your favorite country to visit? Woo! Gosh, I so many countries. Probably Australia. But I love so many countries. I love Greece. I love Italy. I love Spain. I love Portugal. Gosh, I got to just say, I always find the light, the love, and the lessons when I travel. So you probably couldn't give me a country that I haven't loved. But Sydney's a special place for me. And stopping in Fiji on the way to Sydney or New Zealand is a special way to get there. Remember, Friday's training, if you haven't registered, David at dmeltzer.com. Free training every Friday, free books, exercises, guides. This week's on Don't Lie to Yourself training. It's essential. Join my text community, 949-298-2905. Welcome, everybody. Todd is coming on. We've got some Pure Life Organics. Let's see here. Looking to see where we're at. All right. This will work better than the questions icon that's not there today. Here we go. Todd Lamb is the co-founder of Pure Life Organics, and he's here. How are you, Todd?
I'm very well, David. How are you?
I'm doing tremendously well. Thank you so much. And, I do so much in your space. And the reason is a general idea of, food is medicine, not disease. And through our culture and our processing and our own innovation for good intention, it really was for good intention. We've transformed our greatest medicines into disease-causing substances in a variety of different ways. We are now shifting back the pendulum the other way with great companies like Pure Life Organics. I was hoping you could talk about the potent superfoods that you guys have and the effects it has on, metabolism and other areas of your health, your immune system, etc.
Yes, certainly. I mean, that was really what started out the journey to find health for my wife, who suffered from a pretty significant car accident. That's what opened up my mind because, the 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen a day were just killing her. And so one of the first foods that we discovered that had such a powerful potency was turmeric. And when we started to blend turmeric with ginger and we started to see the decrease in her internal inflammation that would then allow other uh, uh, regimes that she was doing to be effective, we started to open up our eyes to the power that these different blends could have on people's lives in such a transformational way. Like we simply just couldn't ignore it any longer.
Yeah, and I think, belly fat, for example, is the hardest fat to get rid of, especially as you get
Sure.
older. One of the best pieces of advice that I ignored from my father. I worked out my entire life when I was
Yeah.
young, and I couldn't gain weight. They had me eat really fattening foods at midnight just so I would keep my weight on to play college football. At 147 pounds, I couldn't afford to lose anymore.
Fair
And
enough.
my dad told me when I was complaining to him, gosh, it sucks, I got to keep on eating. And he's like, so you're complaining because you have to eat like an all meat burrito and a bag of French fries at midnight. You're complaining. He said, David, when you turn 30 and things start changing, I think you'll learn a very valuable lesson about how difficult it is to lose weight, not to gain
Yeah.
weight. And I'm like, I'll never get fat. Meanwhile, I see some pictures of me in my 30s and even 40s, and I just think of my father every time I see that fat picture. What is it about, pure foods and pure life organics that allows our system to regulate itself and to burn the fat that it's supposed to be burning, not store fat that we're not supposed to store?
Yeah, so the way we approach food in general or our blends, for example, is that it's information and to keep it fairly simple, there's a downstream effect that your body reacts to everything that you put in. And so when we're trying to enhance the function, outside of some kind of hormonal dysfunction that we don't know about, but just in general everyday health, we want to enhance the gut microbiome because the gut itself is the key to proper brain function, to proper body function. So we try to provide good sources of nutrition for the gut, you know, healthy mushroom blends, healthy greens blends, prebiotics, probiotics. So we get that functioning. Then we utilize some of the other superfoods like turmeric to really reduce inflammation. The use of, white flour, sugars, that to the extent that we're deploying them in our diet really causes significant amounts of information or inflammation. And so what we want to do is provide the body with the information to reduce those negative effects of some of the westernized dietary habits.
And those habits, no matter what, are the key to who we are and what we become. And, restoration is another theme. I wrote a book called Compassionate Capitalism
Yep.
that challenges, people like you, Todd, to not only have a profitable business, but an impactful business and a charitable business as well.
Yes.
And you guys, not only are restoring our health and restoring our bodies, but you're restoring the supply to
Yes.
our health and to our body. I think you guys have planted over 42,000 trees already with the Eden Reforestation Project.
Yep.
What inspired you to pick that charity, and why is it such an important part of your business?
So I've been very fortunate to learn how to fly helicopters, and I live on a very beautiful island on the west coast of Canada that is surrounded by some of the most magnificent forests. And when I started to do my helicopter license, we were flying over glaciers and forests, and I just started to be absolutely in awe at the rate at which these things were being depleted and no action being taken to really go about reforestation. And so I thought, that I was profoundly impacted and I didn't expect to be in that way. And so then I started to research ways that we could contribute in my lifetime. I've got a time horizon here, so I need to do something in my lifetime. So I stumbled across a company in Canada called Flash Forest, who is these young people with these brilliant minds that are using drones to reforest. And drone reforestation, aside from the efficiency of the seeds, the seed pods and the germination rate, they are extraordinarily effective at planting these forests in 6 to 8 times faster with a more significant germination rate. And so we started to dedicate part of our profits to facilitate them directly, and then a place in Australia called Airseed Tech, and then a place in the US, business in the US called Drone Seed. And so part of our profits are directly pushed over to those companies that use drones specifically, because the rate at which they can do reforestation will, if we get everybody on board, will happen in my lifetime. And that's exciting to me. I want, the whole reason, I don't think it's the responsibility of individuals. It's the responsibilities of corporations to take the initiative to get this planet back on track.
Oh, I agree. And you'll please read my book, Compassionate Capitalism. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to anyone, David at dmeltzer.com. Yeah, it's so interesting because it's also the expense, right? The danger
Yeah.
and the expense of reforestation and
Yeah.
all the different liabilities that we have when we put human beings in vehicles to go do that. Now it's amazing. A lot of people are worried about like drone technology in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
Every single technology can be used as just like human beings, in my opinion. You can
Yeah.
find superpowers in everything. We just need to focus that attention, like you have, into your supplement and tea business to find the superpowers within us, to create superpowers outside of us. Where can
Yeah.
people find? I know it's at purelife.organics. Where else can
Yeah.
they find the supplements and tea?
They can come see us at purelifeorganics.com. And like you mentioned, our IG channel there, we've got a yoga instructor, we've got an athletic therapist that are there solely to provide information and value to people that come and visit. It's an incredible resource that I'm very proud of.
Yeah, you can really achieve a healthier lifestyle through Pure Life Organic. So I appreciate you, my friend. I look forward to helping you. Thank you so much for helping our planet and everyone on it. What a great business. I could have written my book about you. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it.
Thank you, David.
All right,
Appreciate it.
take care.
Bye now.
Awesome. All right. What a great philanthropist and philanthropreneur. I call those people. He's a philanthropreneur. His purelifeorganics.com is changing the world inside and out. Really good company. Live a healthier lifestyle, boost your metabolism, immune system, lose weight, all those fun things, just organically, right? Naturally. Let's make our food our medicine, and let's create more food that's medicinal and not disease or damaging to us. Let me take a quick question, then we'll bring on my next friend. Jeff Lopes, how are you? Good to see you on there as well. Here we go. Take a question here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, everybody. Is there any time when it's okay to lie to yourself for inspiration? Wow, that's really an interesting question. Okay, is there any time to lie to you? I don't think so. I think you have to learn how to get motivated, get up, get back up, get started, get restarted, and transfer that to inspiration with the truth. We can use the truth. I don't think we need to. I think we can lower the bar which isn't lying to ourselves. But I think lying itself carries such a low energy, like fear, that, it only lasts a short time. It may get us started lying to ourselves, but it's not going to get us there. Lying to yourself will get you up, but it won't get you there. It will get you restarted, won't get you there. It will get you back up, but won't get you there. So I got my answer. No, lying to yourself will not get you there. But telling the truth and lowering the bar and being consistent, persistent in the pursuit of that will get you there. And we're all over that. Let's see if our next friend is in here. Jakey Bakey, I am looking for Bhargav, our friend. He has an invention I really want to see. Anyway, Bhargav, if you're here, go ahead, send me that request to join. I have so many people on here. Let's see. All right. Let me grab another question while we wait for my inventor friends to come on. Join this guy, Silcourt. No, sorry. Favorite trip in 2020, India, before COVID. I spoke at several universities, an entrepreneur event. I went to Mumbai. I can't pronounce all the names of the beautiful places that I went, but for sure, that was my favorite trip of 2020. All right, we will bring my friend Bhargav Maganti. He's an inventor and the world's. All right, brother, how are you?
Hey, David, doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Well, I called my dear friend and business partner Warren Moon, Hall of Fame quarterback, because I told him I finally found a quarterback that's more accurate than he is. You have invented something that is very exciting, but also I'm very interested in. It's the world's first robotic quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So who's the quarterback that you were speaking with?
Hall of Fame quarterback Warren Moon.
Awesome.
I have Eddie George today. I'm talking to him. I'll ask him if he'll play with a robotic quarterback instead of a normal one.
Yeah, we have a bunch of athletes that they love using our seeker. So the main thing obviously that we always tell people is that it's not about getting rid of the real quarterback. That chemistry obviously has to exist. What we're trying to do is augment the ability to get those extra reps in. So that's what our invention does.
Yeah, and it gets those reps in without wearing out. A lot of people don't realize, and they look and see great quarterbacks, the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses, the Aaron Rodgers, and every once in a while they have a bad game, just like Kershaw has a bad game or Verlander has a bad game every one. That's because they're human. And, some of these extra reps for a quarterback, because they want to get the work in for multiple receivers, actually can damage, tear, inflame the arm, shoulder, back, hips, which may not show in one game, but throughout the course of the season, these micro damaging and inflammation could be a contributing factor to a much larger chronic disease or acute injury, things that can occur all the time. So there's extreme value at all ages. There's also, especially now with the pandemic, at a lower level, is a very safe way to get your reps
Yeah.
with the quarterback. Now, how many options does the quarterback have? What exactly capability wise can it do?
Yeah, so really there are two main modes that we promote. So there's a manual mode and there's a robotic mode. Now, manual mode is more geared towards in practice. So basically what it allows you to do is have a ball go at any location on the field. So we have a virtual representation of the field on a touch screen. So you can select where the seeker is, where you'd like the ball, and for any sort of pass, punch, or kick, you can get it there every single time. You can adjust different parameters, so you can set different hang times, different ball velocities, and so on and so forth, different body positions, and you can get the ball exactly where you want it repeatably and continuously. So.
And how do you time it if you're going to run patterns to it? Do you stand one person there to catch it and have another guy run by it and then kind of time it that way?
So it's really, you get a feel for it. In manual mode, you have another user kind of at the helm of the machine. So we have a joystick push button. So the other person who normally would be your quarterback or would be your coach, they would be the one that's at the seeker. They would press the joystick button. They would time you as you're running your route or your drill or whatever you're trying to do. Now, we also have another mode where we have a remote pulse tag, which is a little pager style device that you put on your hip. So in manual mode, you can go out to any location on the field, press the button, and then you can set a delay between right now 0 and 5 seconds. So you can put a slider, so you can time your own routes, and you can basically have the ball go to exactly where you need to. And this is all in manual mode, so we haven't even gotten to robotic mode yet.
Wow. In robotic mode, how does that work?
So robotic mode is basically fully tracking. So this is I guess, the most innovative aspect of our machine, which allows individuals to go out and practice entirely alone. So you could roll the seeker out onto the field, have your pulse tag. You can select, which sort of drill you want to perform. Right now, we have a stationary gauntlet drill and we have a robotic punt. And so with both of these drills, you can go out wherever you'd like on the field in front of the machine, and then you can press your tag, and based on the parameters that you selected for this type of throw that you wanted, it'll track your distance and be able to throw you that ball. And so there are a lot of different things that you can do with that. So, for example, with stationary gauntlet, you can have 6 different balls come to you in a course of about 10 seconds. You can have them at varying body locations. That's probably one of the biggest benefits, something that humans can't even do. You can't replicate about 6 throws in 10 seconds and at varying body locations. Or let's say that you're just bad at catching balls at your knees. That's something that you need work in. You can select that position, specifically target that, work on that position. So all sorts of things that you can do.
Wow. I'm just blown away. Now, how much is the machine?
So the machine is $62,500. Our target market is mostly NFL organizations, college programs, but we have several NFL individuals. We actually have a high school athlete that just purchased recently, so he's getting some extra reps in. So yeah, we've really started selling at the beginning of this year. Pandemic has kind of changed the course of this year for our company, along with many others. But with that, what we were able to do was engage with a number of NFL athletes that didn't really have a way to get reps, and especially with COVID protocols, they didn't have the access to their quarterback or really anyone to throw them the ball. So having the ability to have NFL tier quarterback style passes that these athletes were able to get reps in, they definitely were able to utilize that.
How long did it take you to develop that?
It was a while. So we started the company in 2015. We're right now in our 9th iteration. So our production model is our 9th iteration. So 8 previous iterations. It went from, on paper, all sorts of Frankenstein-style devices to eventually what we have right now, which our customers are using.
And have you looked at other business models to make it affordable for high schools and increase the production, like a leasing model, like a copier?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're looking into different sorts of options right now. Obviously, with the times, we have to be as flexible and creative as we can be. So we're working with our different customers to help the most people get access to a seeker.
Yeah, I love the seeker. I love the idea. I love the tenacity and persistence to over 5 years have that many iterations of it, to utilize something that even now is more needed than ever and will be. Wow, I mean, what an incredible idea. I'd love for you to try out for my new Bloomberg show and pitch that and get some exposure for the seeker
absolutely.
on there. So make sure you reach out, and if you need any business advice, please, it's right up my alley. Super proud of you. The seeker is amazing. How many people on your team?
So we have 5 people. So my co-founder and I, and then we have another software developer, and then 2 people in sales. So we're a very small team, but yeah, we've been working pretty hard for the last few years.
And I know people can reach you at B Maganti, but where can people order or get information on the seeker?
Yeah, absolutely. So info@monarchsport.com is our direct email address. And then if anyone wants to follow us on Monarch Sport on IG, happy to answer questions on there as well. So also can check us out on our website, www.monarchsport.com, MONARC.
Bhargav, you got to reach out to me, david@dmeltzer.com. Please, I got a lot of good ideas for you, okay?
Awesome. Yeah.
Join my show, season 2, Catch the Seeker. All right.
Perfect. Yeah, good talking to you, David.
Take care.
Yeah.
Great job, Bhargav.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Wow. Brent is here, I saw. Let's just add him in. Brent Gleason is our next guest. At Brent Gleason, he's a Navy SEAL and founder and CEO of Talking Point Leadership. Hey, Brent, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, David?
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much.
You catch a little bit of that Monarch Sport thing? How cool is that?
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed how expensive it was, because I was like, I'm buying one for my son, right? Because he's like a running back
Christmas is right around
receiver.
the corner.
I'm already negotiating for like leasing options. It'd be worth it for you leased it out like a car for 10 years, or more. At that price, you might have to mortgage it, but it might be worth it if you have 4 kids or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, wow, that's incredible. Anyway, let's take it back the other way to human performance. And, I've been blessed to grow up in San Diego. So obviously I've been exposed to and been around and participated in multiple things, even the corporate leadership program with the Navy SEALs. And I will tell you, if I could choose one area that I would love to be of service to our country, with my build and my desire, it would have been the Navy SEALs, because they are the epitome of what I believe Navy SEALs enjoy: the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit
Yep.
of their potential. If I could grab every Navy SEAL, put them into my company would grow exponentially, because that's all I need are people that know that. What is it, number one, that attracts people to the SEALs? And then two, let's talk about what you've learned that you now teach other people.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, when I joined, as you know, I had gone to SMU for undergrad and worked in finance for a year. So it was just pre 9/11. This is early 2000, and so it was a little bit different call to serve. But as you know, I mentor young men into the program now, and it's a totally different mindset because we've been at war for 2 decades, and not a totally different mindset, but these young men know they're going to be going down range to do the nation's business, so to speak. And I have such admiration for them. And the Naval Special Warfare community has invested so much money in trying to identify, and think about it as a sales funnel. We need more SEALs, but the training's so hard, we got to put better leads in the top of the funnel. So we've invested a lot of money in research trying to identify the mental, cognitive, and physical attributes of students more likely to make it. And it's not maybe the narrative you might imagine around, physical prowess and athleticism and extreme, academic and intellect. And while fitness and intellect are important, it actually comes down to the less measurable attributes of grit, resilience, mental fortitude, of course, but more so than anything else, just like in any job or goal you pursue, it's a deep, deep passion and emotional connection to serving, not just in the military, but as a SEAL. That's what breaks the students that succeed away from the students that that don't. And as you know, most don't.
Yeah. Would it be surprising, knowing, something about me that would be the area that I'd be interested in?
Say that again?
I said, would it be surprising that that's the area that I'd be interested in, knowing me?
Not surprising at all.
Because you look for those characteristics, and it's funny because I talk to people about celebrities, athletes, entertainers, media people, billionaires, millionaires, and entrepreneurs, and they ask me what the common denominator are, and it's the desire that they must be what they can be.
Right. And think about it, like in your career and, the ups and downs and the obstacles that you've overcome, just like in any successful person, however you define success, it's that ability to continue to be in a constant state of improvement, and not shy away from the pain, the suffering, and the stress, but to lean into it, to use it as a learning tool to continue to develop and continue to push forward. Course correct as needed, but never giving up is what separates those students, where giving up isn't even an option. And then, of course, you take that same mindset with you to the battlefield.
Yeah, and then, I always say, so we have so much in common. It's so beautiful, but, I always say the other common denominator is everybody's life sucks the exact same percentage. It's the people that know how to find the light, the love, and the lessons in the suck. And your book that's coming out in, I think, December 22nd or so, it's coming out December 22nd, Embrace the Suck. That is a Dave Meltzer top of the Christmas list, must read, absolutely book. Tell me how you take kind of the taking point leadership strategies or anything else that you've included in how do we embrace the suck, since everybody has it in their life, no matter who you are.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as you know, taking point leadership, and my first book, Taking Point, was about organizational transformation, leadership, culture. This book's about personal transformation. Now, going into this project, I didn't realize 2020 was going to suck so bad for so many people. So selfishly, the timing of the book is perfect.
There's enough to embrace for everyone.
So, hypothetically speaking, a global pandemic, civil, social, and political unrest, and financial uncertainty. But really, the book is designed to be a tool to teach people to be very intentional in how they expand their comfort zone, to reassess their values, to be able to use pain and suffering as a pathway to avoid temptation, increase discipline and personal accountability, plan better, execute better, debrief with yourself better, so that you can live a more meaningful, fulfilling life, a life of giving back, and ultimately meet and exceed more of the goals you set.
Yeah, you're such an incredible teacher and student. You know, I say what makes a great leader is an intelligent follower. And I think I may have gotten that from your first book, actually, or something along those lines. I always, I'm absorbing so much data and I have my own framework and my own rhetoric around it. I always worry when I'm like, oh shit, did I get that from his book?
Right.
I even look at your title. I'm like, hey, I've been talking about embracing the suck forever. I actually, that's so good. But moreover, that mindset. You did mention one word that I would love to get your perspective on. You talk about uncertainty, and a lot of people. You come from a financial background. Right out of school. That's where you kind of laid your hat to start. I have a philosophy about uncertainty. I'd love to see your perspective on. I believe it's not uncertainty that bothers people, because it's always like, especially financial uncertainty. You and I both know that if anybody could tell us financially what's going to happen tomorrow, we could make billions of dollars together. We give it all to charity, but I have no doubt if someone's certain, 100% sure financially what's going to happen tomorrow, I know how to make billions of dollars immediately. So it's really about the mindset of change and the speed in which things change in our own perception, meaning, what scares these people is that, they have these truths that are illusions. And when the truths change so quickly, and this is my philosophy about aliens, right? Like, I have no doubts that there's, other life. And yet they're slowly dripping, the truth, so people don't freak out that there's this altered, truth, and things change too quickly. But with the pandemic, things change too quickly. Like you just said, what mindset have you learned in order to effectuate certainty into those types of accelerated change periods of history?
Sure. I think I like your point about, people understand that uncertainty is a reality, but it goes a step further. It's as simple as expecting things to change, just like having a good mission plan. But as we know, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. Or more eloquently, as Mike Tyson put it, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It's about having the expectation that things will change and having a plan that has really solid contingencies identified, understanding where you're going to need to course correct, continually taking stock of your existing resources, and planning for the worst but hoping for the best. We've all been shoved down the path of personal and professional transformation over the past 9 months. Some businesses are failing and some are thriving right now. That's the fascinating piece. Is some because adversity, when things are going wrong, my philosophy is good. I've learned this over the years. I didn't used to think that way, but it's good because adversity forces reinvention, it forces innovation, and it forces, reassessing what really matters to you in your life, personally and professionally.
I always say that change forces the two things that create the mathematical equation of luck. Change forces us to, number one, pay attention, to focus, and two, to give intention, like you said. Attention plus intention equals coincidence, and coincidence is what people define as luck. And you have proven that course of mathematics the same as I have. I want to, number one, thank you just for your service, but taking it beyond to the next level and teaching people the importance in alignment with why you are of service with your first book, Taking Point, but also your new book, Embracing the Suck, even more on a personal level than a business strategy level. What would be your best, go-to piece of advice if someone came to you and said, hey, I'm looking to join the SEALs? What would your advice be?
Well, I get that piece of advice a lot, as you can imagine now, through social media and a lot of these young kids really doing a lot of research. We have a lot more resources than we've ever had to help these young men prepare. But really, it's about intense preparation and focusing on what is in your control and sphere of influence and ignoring the rest, because there's going to be so many external factors once you get there, and you're going to be put in situations that you could not replicate in a civilian environment, no matter how hard you train. But don't leave certain things to chance, such as your fitness capability, how much research you've done in the community, understanding our culture, reading as much as you possibly can so you can sort of mentally prepare yourself. But relentless preparation is what we've seen. Guys are coming in more fit than we've ever seen them before, but we still seem to graduate the same amount of people. So fitness is not the only thing. It's about understanding what you're getting yourself into and making sure you have a deep passion and emotional connection with this call to serve. It's not checking the box. It's a very, very serious profession.
Yeah, no, I always say it doesn't matter how strong or fit you are if you're going to quit,
Yeah.
and that is the ingredient that you teach and I teach, and that I so admire. That's why your book, Embrace the Suck, is the top of my Christmas buy list, the book list. Oprah has her list. Well, Brent, your book's the top of mine. Embrace the Suck, December 22nd. Go ahead, pre-order it for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for Kwanzaa, whatever you believe in. It's the top of David Meltzer's read list. It's everything that I'm about. So thank you so much for sharing what I believe will change the world. Thank you.
It's got a great forward by another David, similar to you, David Goggins. So check it out.
Can't be. You know what? If you're going to have another David, wow. David Goggins, that's no joke. And please tell him I said hello. Thank you.
Will do, brother. Thanks,
Brent. Thanks, Brent. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You got to buy that book, don't you? I mean, let's be honest. That's the secret sauce book. You can't call it the secret sauce book, but for sure, Embrace the Suck. That's how we're going to make it, break it, build it, grow it, accelerate it, exponentially, compound it. You get it. Let's do it. Let's take one more question. Friday's training, that is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's free. Free training every Friday for over 20 years is Don't Lie to Yourself. I'm going to talk about lying to yourself, why you lie to yourself, what you lie to yourself, what the effects of lying to yourself are. Okay? Come join me. If you miss it because it's Friday and people don't like Fridays, then all you got to do is go to Spotify, Entrepreneur, featured there, every platform, the playbook, and enjoy, 500, 600 episodes of the playbook with the greatest celebrities, athletes, entertainers, millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, and my trainings. There's a featured playlist called The Playbook on Spotify, and Entrepreneur features it there as well. So go ahead, check it out. Let's take one more question before we get on with this amazing day here today. There's so many questions. Sorry, the question button wasn't working, but I don't own Instagram. If I did, I probably wouldn't have time to do this. If you had $30,000 to invest every month, how would you invest it? I would detach my emotion and create a budget for downstream that was percentage wise. I had a training last week on budgeting and using Elizabeth Warren's 50-30-20 rule. I would put 50 away for taxes, 30 invest into myself, and 20 I would save, around there. But I would detach my emotions. I'd be very disciplined to stick through that with that. So 15 towards taxes, 10 on the investing in myself, and 5 on the savings, something along those lines. All right. Thank you, everybody. This has been extraordinary. I want to thank Todd, Barkov, and Brent, 3 different extraordinary companies, all compassionate capitalists. We're saving the world inside and out with Pure Life Organics, and Barkov with the Secret. We got to work out a deal, brother. I need one of those for my 10-year-old. My arm is getting tired. And then finally, Brent Gleason, make sure on our Christmas reading list, Embrace the Suck. All right, everyone, you can reach me anytime for exercises, guides, books, and training. David@dmeltzer.com. Thank you so much. Join my text community, 949-298-2905. Remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self.